Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm BMT coming at you again with another one. I'm supposed to have an erratic special guest that we can definitely have a conversation on, talking about that of the one, the only here. uh, I don't get it. Well, actually, I kind of do get it because I understand that a lot of men. This is what happens when you deal with the woke crowd or the erratic black man. Like this dude, I kid you not. This dude is like texting me like so quickly. I can't even keep up with the responses, man. Like I kid you not. Like listen, this guy, and this is all over weave. His primary prerogative is to shame women about weave, and you got to start wondering like the milestone of laws that black men or just men in general have. Well, namely, I would say black men. Good morning, good morning. Um, because I can never understand what's this infatuation of trying to shame about looks when what does it do? Not too long ago they were talking about your lips, your nose, and all this stuff. So, I'm going to send the guy a link. That would be fair, because we got to talk to the guy. You know what I'm saying? We want to talk with the guy. Have the conversation. He has that right. Yeah. Sending invite. So we're gonna at least invite the guy. He says he has something on Instagram. I'm not an Instagram warrior or a Facebook warrior. These people are pretty interesting. It's predominantly black men, I guess, telling you or trying to tell the black woman about that of her misbegotten woes. I think he's a Hebrew Israelite, but regardless of that, I'm going to still send him that. Like whenever I respond to people, I at least let them know, like, hey, thank you for the content. Now I can never understand that of the erratic um, issues. I can never understand that of the erratic issues. Here you go. So there you go. So, but what you're gonna do? What I'm saying? I'm at least send it to him because, like, look, here's I wanted to be understood, but I'm fair. I am asking the man. I am asking the man. Hey, if you want to come up and have the conversation, that's fine. So long as we can be, you know, logical. But when you gotta wear these highly religious, woke black men trying to shame a woman about here. Now, if any of y'all know anything about India, we know it's highly they're dealing with a lot of in poverty and poor and like poor. So what I told him, I said, hey dude, they sell their hair, they sell a lot of shit to make money. That's how India is. Like that's what they are. No, no. Black women are putting on curses and on their scalp. And I'm like, dude, you're overthinking it. Like, I'm telling you, man, like I've done watched the documentary in the column, dude. Like they take their daughters and their women and have them cut their hair off. But Indian women grow hair fast. Like they do it in India, South Brazil, all over. Like people cut their hair off. Hospitals, medical facilities, they all buy wigs. I mean, this is not new. The women that shave their heads don't get anymore. Yeah, they're not getting the money. It's the temples getting the money. They just cutting their hair off. Like, I mean, but the guy, he believes that when you buy their hair, you're putting on curses and shit. And I'm like, no, nigga, no. Like the temple is selling the hair. They're making money. It's money. Like I don't know what's up with niggas and goddamn curses and supernatural hocus pocus shit. But if you're thinking that, you know what I'm saying, like this is why when I be trying to meet, and I got to give it to Queen Sunkiss on this. Like when you be trying to meet people with logic, and they just start talking this goddamn mumbo jumbo shit. Like, yo, dude, like Y'all niggas need to stop, bro. Like y'all. Nobody says anything to niggas, but nah. Because here's the thing: you want to say he's kind of right about curses. Listen, that's the same thing like them pastors. I'm gonna show you how. I'm gonna show you how it's a big hustle. There's a church in Africa that be telling the women, and this is why I say religion be having motherfuckers do all kind of cash shit. Okay, the churches in Africa are the best scheming hustlers for the village, because they'll have them makeshift sweatshops, do sneakers and shit while they collect their money. So how is it that you're getting blessings and prosperity if that church in your village is making money, yet you're a poor ass village working for a company that is making millions of dollars? So explain to me how the man of God is rich, the temple is making money, but your villages and your households are poor and in rags and shit. But see, y'all don't want to talk about that. But see, I understand people in religion, especially black people, are so easily gassed up and fooled. Now, the thing that got me that was so easy, but I sent him a message. He says, we shame black hoes on Instagram. And I'm like, how do you shame hoes on Instagram? Like, he hasn't responded back. You know, let me hit him up, say, hey, is everything okay on your side? Okay. So, okay. That was stream. Now, here is DNA putting somebody else's DNA in their programming on top of your head. Thinking center can be something like it. Nah. You got to come up and explain that one to me. Like, y'all believing in all these curses and shit. That's interesting. Like, I never thought you, a scientific person, would be like that. Would be like that. I never thought that you would be like that. Like, how do you mean by you're on the that is a you think that is a you're putting on somebody's programming? That's crazy. Now, I'm always curious about when it comes to people, and those in the chat, shout out to y'all. You know, we got the multiple streams and that we like to definitely have this. I'm not but you have dreads on. You have dreads. Okay. Okay. I only got so much time. I gotta definitely get out here. So this is off the cuff. I'm not gonna lie. I'm still in my pajamas. I was literally I'm literally waiting for Gotham Knights. What's going on, kid? Hey, I can't make this shit up, dude. Like, motherfuckers thinking that they putting on curses and genetic DNA. If that's how it works, bro. Hey, all them cancer patients that have chemotherapy, they should all be having like quantum leap rebuffs of memory and shit. Like, they should be able to see all kinds of like futuristic shit, or be able to start. Hey, I put on the weave of a basket weaver, so I should be able to somehow get the transferability to weave and spiritually connect. Hello. Hey, you said I think you said one. I think you said two. Okay. I'm gonna be on my way to you where I can get you gas. Which one you want? Okay. All right. Yeah, they are. All right. He said, go buy your wife some weave. Okay. Kind of not. So what's going on, son? Kids, you got a lot in the background. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, he is not gonna talk to you. They don't have no respect for women. First of
Oh, you
all,
know,
the
listen.
Israelites.
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
been
yeah.
watching them for like over a decade. They don't respect women.
They
But what
don't.
I'm
They don't. He in
saying,
the chat twerking. He in the chat saying some crazy stuff. Um, I was trying to figure it out about this. Now, understand this, y'all. I've done the whole background study about it, and the thing about it
hmm
is, listen, man, hospitals for a while. Now, you work in the medical field. People who go through therapy sessions. Me as a vet, I know a lot of people who get TBI. I don't know if TBI is traumatic brain injury. You know that drastically a lot of soldiers and people in the field they got to go get stuff done to their scalp. For a long time, I've known a lot of people who've been buying wigs. Now, it's you said something about the genetic um, passing of information from their hair onto your head. Could you please go over that?
yeah, this ain't scientific by no means. It's just an observational theory.
Okay,
You look at hair. Hair has an
right.
effect on the psyche. So you can test this out. You can do it with a little girl, and you just watch the type of hairstyle you put in her head, and watch how her personality changes. Hair has DNA in it. I ain't never put no. Weave. I do some weave, but human hair. I'm not putting nobody else DNA on top of my head. For what? That's
Now,
crazy.
now you're in the medical field, correct? You're in the medical
Yes.
field.
hmm
That's but that's you literally not too long ago were on the parasite thing, and now you're on to the hair and the DNA transfer. Um, how like how you going into like you gotta understand like hear me out with it, but why don't I hear white girls talking like this that go to go through chemotherapy and they get a wig cap? Like are they like how are they how are they get listen, if that's the case, I need to go find somebody who's like really good in math and shave my head and put their goddamn hair on, and I should be a goddamn a physicist by now. Like I need y'all wilding, bro. Hey,
I'm not.
you up, Quinn? You can come through.
I'm not saying that it's scientific by any means. I'm
Mm-hmm.
just saying is I didn't say anything about absorbing DNA or none of that stuff.
Right.
Um, all I'm saying is
You
I
think
think
the curses and stuff? You think they get a curses?
I wouldn't necessarily say that it's a curse, but when I've seen people do certain things with their hair and their personality change, something's going on with that. You know what I'm saying? Something's happening.
You think it's self esteem?
It could be self esteem, but for your
Okay.
entire being to
Now
change.
let me say it like this. So that's like let's say how some people they get new suits or shoes and stuff.
hmm
Like I've seen guys get like new shoes and they just start acting brand new. Like I'm like, hold up, bro, what's going on with you, man? Nah, bro, like nah, like I was like, you would have acted like this before you got that new jacket or new clothes or new stuff. Um, they say like if you get a I can't get mad at a woman that always get treated like shit and then when what I'm saying, she get a makeover and then I heard people say, oh, she thinks she's slick or fresh. And I'm like, well, why can't she feel like that? Why can't she have a better self-esteem feel, you understand what I'm saying, about themselves?
Right.
Like if they like that would be if a man go gets a haircut. What do they say? A haircut can help change that of your personality, how you feel about yourself, right? So if a
hmm
man gets a haircut or a box clean up, he has a better feel of presence. You know what I'm
hmm
saying? She's right. A haircut can change a man's whole persona. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, I see guys, they get haircut, shoot, they come out. feeling like how they say feeling like $1,000,000.
Uh-huh.
Go get I'm not saying I'm not trying to if y'all believe that if y'all spiritual or manifest belief, that's your right. But I'm also on that of the premise that they them coming with the talking point, the suit makes the man. Now, why would they say that? Or you could tell a lot by a man by the shoes he wears. Those are sayings about men. You understand? And so we have those sayings about men. You know, if I saw Clever Kev wearing his white lab coat, now let's be honest, and I'm gonna show you. When I see people in practice to go get their lab coats or they're wearing their suits, there's a kind of esteem about them because I didn't know the longer your lab coat is, that signifies that of your how far you are in the practice of the medical field, correct? Let me make sure I'm right about that because I know they got the jacket and then they got the long white coat.
Yeah, that's a ceremony.
Right. So the ones who got the long white coat, they be letting that shit flap around like they Batman in the goddamn in the hallway and shit.
Yeah, they worked hard for that. You didn't work hard for no weed, though.
Now hold on now. You think you didn't work hard for the weed, but you don't know what that person did for money to go get that weed.
I mean, that's true, but this is what I'm saying. I knew a woman that would not step outside her house for any reason if she didn't have that weave in her head. She couldn't function without the weave in her head. And I'm not saying that, what he's doing, going on a crusade about weave is sensical. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying, for me, I'm not putting nobody else's DNA on top of my scalp.
Okay, so that's your preference. Okay, that's your preference. Okay, we got him up here. Sega, I'm gonna bring you up. Just don't be doing no crazy flash and shit. We don't do that.
I'm gonna hop down. I'm gonna see you later.
Okay. All right. What's up, Sega Gentleman? Is that your name? Yeah, Sega Gentleman. So what's up, man? Can anybody see you? We can't hear you. No audio. You have it on Bluetooth?
What about now?
It's a reverb of a backwards, like it's like you're talking, like the little kung fu movies where the guys talk and nothing comes out, but then also you hear him talking and shit. That's how it looks right now. You're talking like one of those Chinamen, like the kung fu movie. Okay, you got it hooked up to a headset. Wait, nobody's being an asshole to Sega. Like nobody being an asshole to Sega. We're actually being very respectful. So we don't disrespect guests. No. It's no. You don't got no sound. Say something now.
Testing.
Good. You're good.
All right. So,
go ahead.
I joined in because I noticed that you were actually discussing what I wrote instead of just talking shit. I appreciate the thumbnail, by the way. But
you're welcome.
I respect the fact that you're having dialogue about that with the sister. Now, I need you to understand that I don't post things on my on my Facebook without doing years of research. All right. What I posted was taught to me by women. First of all, Hebrew Israelites are not disrespectful to women. We teach the truth about women, and our women have self-respect. They don't wear weaves because that.
But you are of that. You are of that affiliate, correct?
No,
Mr.
First of all, we all are. You are. The lady that was on before me is. Latinos and Islanders are. Hebrew Israelites are not a cult or a religion. It is our genealogy. It is what we are. We are Hebrew descendants of the tribe of Judah. Kanye West is not crazy. He's just saying what we've been on for years. So when people say I am a Hebrew Israelite, they try to make it into a I want to say this correctly. They try to make it into like a noun, as in it's a group. It is what we are. We're not black. We're not Negro. We're not colored. We are Hebrew. We are Israelites.
Okay. So let me make sure I'm getting this correct. You guys, So that way, Rupert, nobody's attacking him. I don't think
No.
anybody.
Hold on,
Attacking,
Wilson. Shut up. Wilson's my friend. He's just defensive. Wilson, shut up
right,
for now. It's cool. It's cool.
nobody's attacking the man.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool.
So I even told. He even said, "Hey, send me a link." I was booting up the show. I sent him a link. So, okay. So you believe that the Hebrew Israelite thing, and thank you for giving us your clarification on what you believe. You believe that it's not a religion or a cult, but this is who y'all are, or who y'all believe that minorities are, correct?
Yeah, to an extent. It specifically African Americans of the transatlantic slave trade. And you can find clues of this in the Bible. We're the only group. The Jews right now, they were in the Holocaust for 5 years. We are the only group that was enslaved for 400 years on record. And that is in the Bible. That is scientific. That is even known in the political realms. So it's not what I believe, it's what we actually are. And this is proof. The rabbis know this. They suppress this from us because if we knew what we really were, we would be forced to change our eating habits as far as pork and shellfish. We would be forced to look at the hip hop community and preaching black on black violence. I have to respect you because I look at you as not the God, because I still believe in the Most High, but I look at you as a child of God. You are my Hebrew brother. So I was not going to come up on here and disrespect you. I can't.
I'm not.
But
listen, I was going to come. Like, I'm never going to bring up a man that has a different disposition and start cussing at him, and that's not intelligible, or that doesn't look good on either one of us. That's why I even let you know. I said, hey, I'm going to do a show. You know, I stream on multi different platforms. So some people see me on Facebook, so that way I got people who don't have YouTube channels, or they don't want to get on Facebook, so they have Facebook. So that's why, and then I also have people on different other streaming platforms. It's a different thing. Y'all could do that also. Now the thing about it, you said that the women are putting on curses. Could you expound on that about the women putting on curses?
Okay, so in the and I don't want to name. I'm going to say East Asia, but from what I saw, it was in India. I'm not going to say Afghanistan, but just in that area where they practice a lot of Hindu specifically. What they do is, yes, you are right. They use the hair to bring money to the tribe, but it's the same thing. It's the same thing as like a corrupt preacher taking tithes and using it for his own gain. Initially, the hair is cut off, is shaved completely off to give their tribute to Sheba, and it's another god that specifically with hair. It's a pagan.
I saw that.
It's demonic. And the reason why it's so I spoke against it is because most African Americans believe in God. I don't want to say Christian because that's a man-made religion, but we believe in one God, usually Jesus Christ or Yeshua, depending on, if you're Hebrew or a regular Christian. That being said, we're not supposed to take on any idols, any graven images, anything that we know is cursed. So things that we bring into our home is cursed. That could be the albums. We know they put demons on records and movies and video games. This is not a conspiracy theory. It is proven that they take the master copies of records to the top level and they put curses on it, and the demons, there are legions of demons. They multiply and go all throughout. So when you put out a drill music album and send it to millions of kids, those demons are going out. That being said, when these people sacrifice their hair to these gods and goddesses, they package the hair, they send it to the Atlanta hood hair shop, and the women, when they put it on, they take on, it's demonic. Number one, the hair glue chemically changes the way they think, the same way the food, fluoride in the water, high fructose corn syrup changes us. The hair glue is poison. It seeps into there. Look up the girl from the BET show, The Parkers. She went on, and they tried to suppress it. Years ago, she went on, and it ate her scalp up. In the book of Deuteronomy, if I'm not mistaken, it speaks on how God will touch the crowns of women and curse it. They won't be able to grow their hair. It's to the point now where you see YouTube videos, World Star Hip Hop videos of women with worms in their hair. And they're saying, y'all, please stop wearing these. The sisters leave the weave over their real hair for 8 months at a time.
But that's not. But that's not healthy, bro. Like I'm
We
hearing what you're
know it's
saying.
not. I know that.
I'm hearing what you're saying. But I'm saying, okay, let's say the person is suffering from alopecia or they have some kind of skin problem. Is it then still wrong for them to actually want to say, you know what, I want to do something nice for my hair. I want to do that. Like you have dreads just like me. So you understand we got to go get them retwist and redone. You're still saying that, well, they just don't want to look nice about themselves, or they just don't want to say, hey, I want to just put on something nice. Like, you have what you believe. Did you see Dome Jeffrey Dahmer? Wait, that don't have nothing to do with what we're talking about. But um I'm saying that if somebody has a self-esteem issue, and you already should know for a while, a lot of the minority diaspora, big nose, big lips, certain things about our aesthetics that have been either talked about, replicated, or demonized. Is it wrong for somebody to say,
So
hey,
with the
I want to do something about myself, or I want to, maybe go get my teeth bleached or do something like I'm fine and comfortable with myself. Okay,
mhm,
I'm comfortable with myself. I'm fine and comfortable with my people, my children,
mhm.
my family. We're good with our
Black
looks.
men usually are. Black men for the most part usually are.
They
Number
are,
one,
but now they're not anymore because a lot of men are now complaining about, damn, I don't feel like I'm adequate. Like, well, they're dyeing their hair, they're getting
well,
man boobs.
why is that? Who's in control of the culture? Who's in control of when you look at what men do, and don't think I'm attacking women. I'm showing how powerful the black woman actually is. Okay, most men sell drugs and sag their pants because when they were little and was watching Dragon Ball Z and were wearing their shoes and their pants pulled up and all that, black sisters weren't checking for them. They were lame and they were cornballs. Most men are you got men wearing lace front beards now because somewhere
Yeah,
in between 2010 and 2015 beards became trendy. Beards used to be a Hebrew Israelite thing. If you wore a beard, you were looked at as dirty and unkept. But now, because it's sexy, because it became mainstream, and black women started, if you ain't having a beard, I don't. Men starting to put on lace fronts. Men starting to dye their hair now. You got to look
right.
at who really controls the culture. And I'm not saying it as it's blaming them. It's how powerful they actually are. They influence what a lot of, but it's very few men who are doing what you're speaking on. Look at how quickly you grew. I grew my hair in 12 months from a fade because I didn't grow up, and it's not their fault. It's their mothers and grandmothers' fault. I didn't grow up having my hair sizzle every week with a hot comb or with chemicals. The culture has, and again, it's in the Bible. They are cursed. Their scalps are cursed. So again, you cannot look at feelings. I feel like I'm inadequate, so I want to. Instead of learning why they were cursed and repenting, they're trying to go around God and okay, I'm going to go buy weave and go buy hair extensions. Now your scalps is getting eaten up. Well, I have a flat butt, so I'm going to go around God and get butt implants. Now you got women with fix-a-flat infections. Have you seen the videos of Nicki Minaj's butt cheeks falling down to her kneecaps? It's disgusting. You see women with antibodies at the gas station with a huge booty and a small body because they are trying to go around God and because of I don't feel adequate. It's all feelings. We have got to get out of our feelings. I feel like I want to go put on these aesthetics that are poisonous to me. I feel like I should be able to eat what I want, so I'm going to eat shellfish and pork, but I'm going to pray to Jesus that I'm going to be healed. Yet I'm still taking diabetes medication. We got to stop looking at what we feel like we want. I feel like I want to turn up, so even though this music is talking about killing and telling women to shake their ass, it feels good. So, oh, you tripping if you say this is wrong. It feels good. When are we going to get out of what we feel and look at how we can change it? And a lot of that comes with repentance and living through the laws of really the Old Testament and the laws of what Hebrews believe.
Now,
It's a simple solution.
um, one brother says this. This is why you don't follow modern day culture. You create your own culture based off of the creator's ways. Beards were
Yes, sir.
also a Viking thing, a Mongol thing, a Celtic thing. It's not only synonymous with Hebrew Israelites. Another person said beards fell off of fashion
Who
during
said
World War II. Hang on.
what black person was a Viking or a Celtic? This black people got to stop. What does that have
Sega,
to do with this
Sega,
discussion?
let me just read the comment first. Come on
Oh,
now.
go ahead.
Beards fell off of fashion during World War II to Vietnam due to generations of war from World War II to Korea and Vietnam, since so many people were in service where they couldn't wear beards, it became the norm. Then after that, another person says, culture is not your friend. Okay. So go ahead. What do you want to respond to?
As far I'm talking about black people, World War II. I don't. Yeah, that's fine about the beards, the Vikings. I'm talking about black. In the Bible, if you look at a lot of the depictions of most of them are black. Yes, beards were in style. What I'm saying is, in modern culture, in our time that we were witnessing from the 90s to now, we can see there were not a lot of beards like that in the 90s. From the 2000s, we started seeing the beard thing around the Black Panther when the whole black consciousness thing started to get mainstream. And that's why you have your views about Hebrews, because when that became part of the culture, it became poison, and it's not. It's really misunderstood. But we were talking about weave. The
Right.
beards was just an example.
Right. Why did they? Okay. Now the thing. Now, can the person not still be of a sound mind and righteous heart? If okay, I'm not going to front. I eat sausage. I eat my pork rind and stuff, and I get, y'all say that's bad eating shellfish and stuff. But I don't harm nobody. I respect my fellow man. Me and you having a respectful conversation as two men. How is that not just in the eyes of your divine? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see no problem if a person has the money, they want to buy some Eve, or they want to go get go get new clothes and shoes. Even though it's of a certain type of culture or style, that's their money. Why is that adulteratedly wrong? Or they take it on that of cursing. I'm coming from
Yeah,
different.
yeah.
I'm coming from my Gentile mindset, so
So
ignore my stupidity. But that's just how I see. Like, hey, I have nice clothes, or if I never had nice shoes before and I want to go buy Nike, I know that's I know
mhm.
that's a white brand, or Jordan, or any of those things. Are those taking on other cultures of curses and stuff? Or if I want to listen to some Mob Deep, like those are things I may like, but I'm still a good person. What about a woman saying, "Hey, I just want to wear a nice wig with Mob Deep." But there are women that get their hair cut,
Yeah.
and then they say, "Well, damn, I can't grow my hair back fast enough, but I want to switch it up and put on this wig."
Yeah.
How are you going to change that kind of mindset, bro? Go ahead.
Well, the thing with that is, it's good that you love other people, but that's meaningless if you don't love yourself first. That your body is your temple. Whether you're Hebrew or Christian, that we both believe that it is a temple for Christ to dwell. The Holy Spirit, Christ, whichever one you believe dwells in us, that it has to be clean. Okay, when you know better, you do better. For example, I like blue jeans. Levi Strauss. I used to like the way Levi Strauss made their jeans, right? One day I was doing some research and I found out the story behind Levi Strauss. If you look at the logo of Levi Strauss jeans, it'll show two horses pulling a pair of jeans. On the little brown patch that's on the back of the jeans, it used to, I think before like the 60s, it used to be a Negro in those jeans, because in slavery, they would tie us to horses and have the horses go in different directions and rip us apart. That was the logo for Levi Strauss. When I found that out, could I, in good conscience, continue to buy those jeans, knowing what I know? I used to buy my grandmother every year. She likes Chanel No. 5 perfume. I found out that Coco Chanel was an avid supporter of the SS, not the SS part of the Nazi regime. My man who brought up World War II, he should know about this. Coco Chanel actually wrote books, and again, it's a lot of misinformation about Hitler. But as a black person, you buy Chanel, or you see a lot of sisters with Chanel purses. They don't know that as much as they want to say Black Lives Matter and black woman this and that, if they found that Coco Chanel was a Nazi, would they have the same thought, or would they care? Someone like us might, because we think we're critical thinkers. But again, if people, the rules of the universe, even the Satanists believe this, there has to be a balance. The rules of the religion or spirituality, whatever lie is put out, Satan has to let the truth be out there, because when we go meet the Most High, we're not going to be able to blame Satan, because the choice has always been there. Just like when they told Moses, or any time in the Bible when somebody would say, well, I didn't know, or it's always the truth has always been whispered or shouted out loud, but we choose to ignore it or abide by it. People hear about pork at least once or twice in their lifetime. They choose to do it, they choose to make excuses for it, or they choose not to. The choice is yours. But you cannot say when you're standing before the Creator, I didn't know. So I mean that goes all the way to the Hollywood people believe in that balance. The Masons believe in that checkerboard. I have to put the truth out because the lies are being put out. So I have, I'm grateful that discussion is being had.
Okay, that is fair. That is fair.
Yeah.
And y'all, I want y'all to understand as y'all watching this conversation, like, share, subscribe. I have the utmost respect for the brother. It started off rough, but we are having this a course of a conversation. So that proves that men can talk despite the mindset or differences. We can have this. Neither of us are cursing on being belligerent, and it was very respectful. Why is it that people brand, some of the talking points of the Hebrews as radical or extreme? It seems like y'all just have fundamental beliefs of how people should live their life.
Because it sucks. To number one, the worst thing is to find out you've been lied to your whole life. Well, even more than that, the hardest thing is to change. When you find out, even if you go to a doctor and he says, yo, you have diabetes, you got to stop eating cookies, or that's a shock. That's something you don't want to hear, but it's medicine that you need to hear to live. The thing with the Hebrew thing is, most of our lives we've been living. The American culture is very satanic, and we cannot, forget being a conspiracy theorist. A regular person can see there's so many demonic shows out there. I mean, we were forced over here as slaves, given our freedom when we were independent with like Black Wall Street. We had Black communities that they have now put underneath lakes. We weren't infected by American culture, but when integration came along, Martin Luther King's last speech before they killed him, he said verbatim, he said, my dream has turned into a nightmare. I have integrated my people into a burning house. For Martin Luther King to have said that in the 60s, he saw that America was going to burn. The culture, the economy, everything. Look where we are now. Look at how Black people, just imagine if we did live as Hebrews. It sucks that oh, I can't eat this and that. Look how healthy we would be. Oh, we shouldn't have this kind of music. Look at the unity. In the 90s, we at least had R&B. There isn't any R&B anymore. Usher ain't. We don't even have no love songs. Everything is "You Thought I Was Feeling You." I mean, everything is animalistic.
Come on now,
I mean,
we have love songs. Come on, bro. We do have love songs.
I'm saying R&B was a whole genre. Come on, bro. Just think back, because you're my age. Look at how R&B has faded from how it was even in the 2000s, bro. You can't name that many R&Bs like it was back. And if it is, it's all struggle music. It's all he cheated on me type of. There is no love. It's all struggle love. It's either beat it like a dog, sell dope, make her twerk, or he broke my heart, or these bitches ain't shit. I mean, that's it. And India Ari, I can name many R&B love artists that disappeared. That energy is gone. It's lame now. Look, our women want to be city girls. The culture introduced feminism to them and thug culture. If you could look through the decades, man, I don't know if you have the time, but from feminism in the 60s to the drug culture and the thug culture in the 80s and 90s to now, we are totally separated within the Black community. It's bad, man.
But now, aren't the women following that of the market that the men are aren't they following that? Because you got to think, if a woman can sing a song, but she don't got to drop her drawers, I'm only just looking at devil's advocate here. Then how much is she going to sell if she had to just sing with her clothes on versus she gotta have some revealingness, or literally she gotta deal with certain people, like I said, if Nicki would have kept the same body versus her get the BBL, would the people still bother and want to follow him?
Oh God, God is real. I just was
So,
watching. I just was watching a
but
video about that specific subject, specifically with Nicki Minaj. And in the video, he was saying that when Nicki Minaj, I don't know much about her, but I know the old Nicki. And when she first came out, she was supported by men. She was an underground New York rapper before all the weave and all the cosmetics. Men were supporting Nicki because she had bars. But Nicki saw that she could go pop, become a Barbie. That's when she got the female. You got, bro. I just went to a Mike Up show. It was mostly women there. Men don't buy tickets. If men buy tickets to a show, it's to take their woman. Women support the singers, the rappers, the comedians. They I'm telling you, the black woman is not to put them down. That's how powerful and influential they are, bro. Like black men we don't really control. Hip hop is controlled by the Jews. I mean, uh, NWA, it told you who found them, and that's what Kanye. You got to look at what Kanye is saying. The culture is founded by Jews and is supported by and influenced mostly by the sisters, bro. You got to look at who they like, who they say is cool. Who they say is cool is who we gonna listen to. When Bow Wow and think about back in the day when Bow Wow and Lil Romeo came out, and the girls like them, we all started growing braids. You know what I'm saying? T.I. and Bootsy came out when I was in high school, like 05-ish. Everybody started getting fades because that's what the girls liked. Now all the girls like scammers. That's what dudes trying to scam. The beard thing we talked about, like pretty soon, because the girls are getting older, they're gonna want 9 to 5 National Guard veterans. Then that's gonna become popular. But you got to look at whatever the sisters are opening their legs for. That's what brothers try to emulate for the most part. You like really remember when Black Panther came out? We all for a little bit of time had Black Pride for a short little while. That's because black women were loving T'Challa and Eric. I grew my shit out because of Michael B. Jordan. As woke as I am, I like what I saw Michael B. Jordan. That's what I wanted to be like Killmonger. I mean, we pretty much the strongest.
Why would you want to be like Killmonger? Was going there, killing people, shooting.
You don't hear me talking, brother?
You right? Go ahead.
You got to listen to Killmonger's talking points. Forget the violence. Forget the radicalism. Listen to his talking
you
points.
Can't overlook. Come on now, we can't overlook past that now.
When you watching entertainment, bro. Yeah, we can be entertained, but you have to watch everything. You have to watch. We watching it, but you have to watch it too. If you understand what I'm saying, we're watching it.
Okay.
So Killmonger. Go ahead.
No. Okay. Now here's the thing about it, and I'm looking at the stuff. Okay. So. Mm-hmm. If y'all agree with Kanye, do you also agree that slavery was a choice?
So you know Kanye speaks radically and to an extent because when you got a bad grade in school and if the person says Miss Johnson, why did you give me an F? She'll say, I didn't give you an F, you earned an F. You're not gonna like this, but slavery was earned. And again, this is in the Bible.
How was it earned? How was it earned?
Because when I say we had a direct line to the Most High God, we are the chosen people, and we chose to partake of pagan practices. We cursed ourselves when we turned our backs on the Most High, and He cursed us to 400 years in an oppressive person's land, slavery. And then even after that, it's a lot of clues in the Bible to why we're waking up now. The time is up. That's why we're waking up. You know, black people are starting to do better. But I mean, bro, you got to look at it's very clear. It is very clear. Now, Kanye, he says things in a radical way. But yeah, house slaves. Think about Sam Jackson and Django. That was a choice how he acted. You know, he willingly. He willingly, he was the smartest slave on the plantation. You saw how he changed when it was him and Massa in the room. He obviously had intelligence. He knew how to manipulate the white folks. He chose to use his wit, his intelligence, and his power to join them and be above the rest of the Negroes. You look at the slaves like Nat Turner. They were choosing freedom. And hence why I agree with Killmonger. He said, throw me in the ocean with my ancestor who chose death because they knew that was better than bondage. That was a choice. Now, again, it was a sucky choice, but look at 9/11. People jumped out of the buildings because you could either choose to stay in the building and burn or jump out and have a breezy death. To us, it seems crazy, but it was a choice. So I mean, yeah,
Well,
bro, it kind of was a choice. It was a choice.
okay,
Everything is a choice.
okay, no, all right, no, and I'm like, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, I'm looking at that of the text of all right, everyone, let's go. I'm looking at that of the, you know, the context of that. Okay, so when it comes to this, can it not be a choice to people? Because I thought the first thing that God gave, you know, man was free will. I thought God gave man free will. Should it not be that of free will that, you know, I have the right to choose on what I partake in, you know, or should we just go straight and just abide by just whatever law? Because you got to have choice.
Well, the first thing he didn't give man free will. The first thing that kind of came in after Adam and Eve disobeyed God and got put out into the world and they had knowledge of good and evil. That free will came once they partook of the fruit and had knowledge of good and evil. Before then, they were innocent. The first thing Adam was given was his name and a job, which was to name the animals and take care of the earth. Then he was given a wife. You know, that kind of ties today. We should have a job before we look for a wife, fellas. So, you know, that kind of makes a lot of sense. But the free will comes in with yeah, we have free will, but again, me and you have free will to follow the law. So if we choose to break the law and go to jail, should others have sympathy for us? You have free will.
So if you go to jail, should others have sympathy for you? Well,
I'm saying we have the free will to follow the law. We have free will, right. But what we choose to do, we should not. Should we look for? We get a reward, whether it's good or bad. Should we have sympathy, or should we seek sympathy if we chose to break the law with our free will and then end up in jail?
Well, here's the thing about it. Fix your shirt. Like don't look sloppy. So here's the thing about it. You actually are given mercy when you go to jail. Like, you actually are given mercy when because when you go before the judge, you're being allowed to be heard. Like, I've been to some places. It's kind of a clear cut case. Like, they're not even trying to hear you. They've already set up the evidence against you. They're just there just to either put you down or do atrocious things to you. Versus here, you can go get a appeal. You can be reheard. Hell, when you go to goddamn jail or prison, they have to provide you with medical aid if something were to happen to you. They got to make sure you have medication, glasses. So that's a sense of mercy. Like, I mean, hell, some dudes know, like, hell, I got my teeth fixed. I got eyeglasses. I got a lot of shit. I saw dudes coming out of incarceration with whole degrees. So I can't lie on that one. I saw a lot of mercy in that of the system. I don't agree with the system, but I saw a lot of mercy being put out. Some men said that was probably the best thing for them to go to jail. But if they had stayed in the streets, they would have been dead.
Okay, so that's the perfect example. This whole battle between good and evil, Judgment Day, the throne, it's all a courthouse. So some Christians call Satan the great prosecutor. When you said there are some courts where it's set up, they just want to point out what you did, put you down, open and shut. When we go sit before God on Judgment Day, Satan is a prosecutor. Christ is our lawyer. That's what y'all don't. When you're trying to compare this to a court, it is like a court, and we do have that mercy. He intercedes for us daily. Every time we sin or I fuck up, God is cut and dry. But Christ tells him, "No, Father, give him another chance. You see this and that. It's hard down there. He living in the matrix." So it is mercy. But on Judgment Day, when the prosecutor is telling God, look, he did this, he had a chance to change his life. Look, he ignored you on this time. Look, he's still going out chasing women. He's still drinking, doing that. Open and shut, God, send him to hell. It's no more mercy at the end, bro. There's a point with the court, you get 3 felonies, you're out. There is no more mercy. 3 strikes. When we face judgment, that is the end, bro. That is the last court appearance, and that's the end all be all. When the great prosecutor lays out your case, you better hope that you have your defense attorney, which is Christ or Yahushua. You better hope that your deeds is good enough for him to properly defend you. Because if not, you will hear depart from me. You will hear, which is life or the death penalty, which for us is the second death, going to hell. being away from the Most High. That's hell. That is the death penalty. It is like court. It is exactly like court. Satan goes before. It's not just some, like in the movies. No, even in the Bible, Satan goes before God and he'll say, "Where have you been? Wandering to and from on the earth." Like they communicate. I mean, he used to be God's top angel, Lucifer. Like it is a court, bro. It is a court. You better have your life to where when you go to court, they have character witnesses and they look at what you've done. They even if you kill somebody, they look at how you shot them. They look at if you stood over the body after you shot them. They look at if you went. You better make sure everything you do, when they look at what you've done, you better make sure it's good enough to say, hey, all charges clear. You're welcome to join the Father. Like that, real shit, bro. That's how it is. That's exactly how it is.
Like I said, y'all, I just want y'all to have a jacket with y'all, so that way in case it does get cold. Do you have a jacket, Jerome?
But yeah, brother, I have to get on and get to working, man. It's good that y'all having dialogue. Just do your own research. Try not to use Google. Go to Bing, because Google is ran by Microsoft. They are censoring a lot of information. Go look it up about the weed, bro. Look before you continue to let your loved ones do it. At least give them the option to know the truth. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. And you just have to take it for your own. You have to take it with a grain of salt, anything anyone says, and look it up for yourselves, bro. Look up Indian hair sacrifices. Sometimes you got to scroll. Look it up, man. It's demonic. It is demonic. Look at how the sisters act with it. Natural hair sisters tend to act a lot more, and I'm not saying all, but look at the blonde-haired weave girls riding around in their Nissan Maximas, crashing into shit, versus the sisters with natural hair who tend to look at how the Hebrew women act. Don't look at the men on the street corner yelling and screaming. Look at how some of the women act. Very soft-spoken, very submissive, not in a controlling way, but in a that is their power. Being the yin to a man's yang. It is a cultural difference between a black woman with her natural hair versus a black woman with the weave, the Halloween wigs. And I'm not talking about medical victims.
So that right there, and I'm asking you now, do you think that you're stereotyping natural versus somebody who went to go get something aesthetically different? Do you think that you're stereotyping?
One, I did start off by saying it's not 100%. It's not all, but also yes. You have a wife and kid. There are some brothers, if y'all are parked in your car getting ready to go into a store, there are some brothers that you will look at if they're walking towards your car. The brother with and I hate to say it like this, but the square looking brother with a Dragon Ball Z shirt on, you're not gonna be as leery as the brother with crazy hair and sagging his pants with a blood bandana. You're gonna be way more on defense mode with the thuggy looking guy. That's stereotyping, but it's self-preservation. It's data. It's cause and effect. It's thesis and conclusion. I mean, you got to stop looking at it like, oh, that's stereotyping, but that's what it is. That's what it is.
Now, hold on. But now, Sega, I'm gonna show you, because it's just like when you was clarifying that the Hebrew Israelites were not a cult, we're not this, we're not that, right? You did not like that moniker of a stereotype put on that of the imagery of your mindset of belief. That's almost like you're doing the same thing. If somebody were to get something aesthetically done to themselves, you're putting that of a mindset. Not saying you said all. I didn't say you said all. We're intellectual. We don't have to say that around here. But it's like how you defend it. Hey, we're not a religion. We're not a cult. We're not this. We're this. Somebody saying, well, I got my hair done like this, but so I'm supposed to naturally be better. When that has nothing to do with that or their behavior. Their behavior is their behavior. That's different. Like, I try not to judge so much of a man out there wearing his, garbs and on the speakers, shouting Bible verses. If that's what he want to do, hey, go ahead and do it. But can I say, well, that group is crazy? No, y'all would say no. That's him. That's him preaching the gospel.
No, that's crazy.
Okay, you're saying that's crazy? They're
Yeah,
crazy.
like, and again,
They're crazy.
we do look at them as the crazy people that they are, because there are certain ways that you are to go about spreading the message, and what they're doing is wrong. White people are Gentiles, but Gentiles are welcome in the kingdom of God as well. They hate white people. That is not what Hebrew is. That is not. And again, they're making it into
Oh,
a cult. They
wait,
are
okay.
misrepresenting us as a people.
Wait, so wait, hold on. I'm just trying to make sure I'm understanding this. But I listen to something. I listen to Zariak. I'm not sure if you ever know who he is. He's and I've never seen him do anything wrong. He's a family man. Me and him had discussions. We emailed back and forth. Um, why would you think that form of Hebrew, prophesying is crazy? You know what I'm saying? And they were like, well, we're doing the work of the Lord, just like how you doing your side of your work, and you're giving out great information. He was like, well, aren't you crazy also? Because you also claiming the same thing I believe in.
Yeah, again, when I said crazy, this I'm being facetious. This is my personal opinion. But again, this is a common opinion. You're not supposed to be out in the street attacking people. You're not supposed to be. This is with Christians. This is with Christians, Hebrews, whatever. They will be held accountable for the people they've pushed away from finding God with how they do things. All right. A lot of them, the actual camps, a lot of them are like pyramid schemes. They take money from they call them elders. They take money from the younger members who come there seeking knowledge, and they kind of exploit them. So it's a lot of things within that community, just like in the Catholic Church, just like there are good cops who know they're corrupt cops. I mean, I'm not saying it's 100%, but yeah, like people think I'm crazy for what I say. People think I'm crazy for my beliefs and everything, but people thought Christ was crazy as well. But again, you never saw, even in the Bible, you never saw Christ standing on a crate yelling at people, condemning them to hell. He spoke with love.
He didn't do that. Now he didn't do that, but they kind of the time when he ran to the temple.
Brother, that's because they had money. That's because they're doing what the Hebrews are doing now. They were whoring the church. They had money. Yeah, come on, brother. Don't sidetrack the discussion with that.
Hey,
nah, man.
Hold on.
Christ went in there, and that shows that people try to make Christ into this hippie. No, he was a man. He was a man of fire. They were corrupting the church, and yeah, like nah. That's not
now hold on now look now. If I'm just bringing up that of the situation, so that way it can just be looked at under that of the context,
No, well, they know better. Those are his disciples. When he wrapped that rope around his hand and started whipping them, that was his followers. They know better. You're not supposed to be going up to lost sheep and yelling at them and condemn. I don't yell at women for wearing weave. I just put the information out there. They're going to people who don't know. I mean, yeah, when we have our own church sermons, whatever, you're supposed to make them feel condemned. That's why the preacher's supposed to be preaching repentance. Make them feel condemned, because we know the truth. We know better. But if you're going out and like missionaries and all that, you're supposed to be going out with love, because they've never heard this before, so they don't know. Most of my people don't know that that the weave and and pork and all of that. But if I'm preaching to a congregation of like-minded people, then yeah, it's going to be a lot harsher, because they already know the truth. They got to be whipped. But no, you're not supposed to. But that I forgot how we got on to that part. But
no. Here's the thing about it is we're looking at that of a message. It's like, and I'm circling back over and I'm reading this message. Exile 1 said the Hebrews were commanded to go out and teach all nations the message of God's gift to them, and the Hebrews were to teach that message with love for all people. Shalom. So. I know I've heard
a lot of those Hebrews, they hate white people, and I fell into that. I was a victim of that brainwashing.
So you was on that too at one time in your life.
Well, I mean, we all were. I mean, who could watch Roots and not have a little bit of a resentment towards the white man? You know what I mean? But when I grew into my faith and I became more steadfast in my walk, I learned, number one, white people are our children. So when you're looking at a white man who hates you, even if he's your boss, that's your son. And that's genetically, spiritually, all ways around it. Those are our sons. Okay, so we cannot hate them. We cannot hate them. They're going to be our servants one day, provided we live righteously. The tables are going to turn. We're there now. You see, now you sound like a robot. Now I can't understand you. As soon as I said that, now you started glitching out. Can you say something? I can't hear you.
People are sons. The white people are sons.
Brother,
I mean, they're
can
gonna be our
you repeat
servants.
that? I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Can y'all hear me? Can everybody hear me?
Okay,
I'm driving right now. So you're saying
okay,
that the
you
white
good.
people, okay, so you're saying that the white people, there's gonna be one day where the tides are gonna turn and we're gonna be in power?
Yeah, and it's not gonna be like we whooping their ass and selling they wives in front of them. No, it's gonna be you have a lot of white people making TikToks that black people are the true chosen. Y'all need to start watching stop watching twerk videos and watch some information. You got a lot of white people out here that are starting to admit that we are the true Jews. Matter of fact, Adolf Hitler was quoted as saying that the white European American has stolen the jewels of God. Jewels as in jewelry, but the first capital letters were Jew. We are the true Jews. So one day when because we're not gonna go to heaven, there's gonna be a new earth. That's even in the Christian Bible. It's well, there's one Bible, but the Christian faith, they believe it's gonna be a new earth. And again, it's not gonna be from a place of ego and revenge, but it's gonna be the order of how it's supposed to be. White people come from our genealogy. And again, it's not like when they say, oh, how did a caveman conquer Africans? That we were cursed. We taught them when they came out of the caves, we taught them how to bathe. We taught them how to cook their meat so they wouldn't die. We taught them to bury their dead so they wouldn't get infections. We civilized them. We started to turn away from God, and we lost that place, that position of power that we had, that righteous power. We're gonna be back to that one day. 2/3 of us, I know it sounds strange because there's so many thugs and thoughts out there, but 2/3 of us will be done away with. The Most High will do away with 2/3 of blacks, of Hebrews, and the 1/3, 144 are the chosen elect, but 1/3 total will be the remainder, the righteous remainder, and that's us. That's us who are willing to wake up, and even us having this discussion. You're my brother. I have to treat you as such. So yeah, we will be back ruling one day. That is where that's kind of what the Black Panther, even though that's from a pagan, they had a lot of pagan witchcraft. We're not supposed to be talking to our ancestors because those are familiar spirits. Our ancestors have passed on. So if somebody tells you they're talking to their dead aunt, that is a demon who knows us and is disguised. A lot of that is not what it is, but the royalty, you see how the people in Wakanda treated each other, the regalness, that's how it's going to be. That aspect of it. I don't know if I lost you or not. Hello.
everything, I will reach out to the guys.